Donald Trump's indictment has been made public. We'll go over the actual charges that are being brought against him, read a few things from the indictment, and determine how screwed Donald Trump is. Then, over the weekend, Joe Biden had a progressive flag in the middle of two American flags hanging on the White House, and this absolutely disrespects the American flag and what America stands for. Then finally, California Bill AB 957 will take your kids away from you if you don't mutilate your children. I'm Solo, this is the Solo Show. So first, Trump is kind of screwed. I was telling a friend of mine that if Trump is found not guilty in this trial, he'll be 2-0 in his trials and 4-0 if you include his impeachments. And no matter what the left does, they just cannot bring down Donald Trump. But after this Friday, when they release the official indictment, it does not look too good for our friend Donnie. Essentially, you have the Democrats weaponizing the DOJ and the FBI to target their political opponents, and this completely delegitimized our DOJ and FBI. And basically, they're playing on what political opponents get charged and which ones does not. Plenty of people have leaked classified documents. That's how many times the press gets a hold of them. Someone from inside the government leaks it to the press. And, this is something the DOJ and the FBI don't really take too seriously, and you see that many people get charged with them. And this is the Democrat. Basically, what's going to happen from here on out is you're going to have the Democrats and the Republicans trying to charge their opposition for some type of laws. And when they're in control, they're going to go after and try to arrest their political opponents. And this is not only going to not delegitimize our criminal justice system, but also our government. And it's just going to be a downward spiral from here. But let's get into the actual indictment and the actual legal aspect of it. So let's see. So first, the situation of getting the documents actually to Mar-a-Lago kind of went as he left. I believe it was January 13th. No. It was the 30th of January 2020 when he left. He left with a bunch of boxes that had these documents, completely normal. Many presidents have done this. Kind of just taking souvenirs, essentially. And then in the actual indictment, this is where it looks bad for Donald Trump. So let me see. So this is according to the actual indictment. In July 2021, at Trump's National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, the Bedminster Club, during an audio recording meeting with a writer, a publisher, and two members of his staff, none of whom possessed a security clearance, Trump showed and described a plan of attack that Trump said was prepared for him by the Department of Defense and a senior military official. Trump told the individuals that the plan was highly confidential and secret. Trump also said, as president, I could have declassified it, and now I can't. But this is still a secret. This is the worst thing to have as a lawyer. This is audio recording of Trump not only admitting that this was highly confidential and secret, but acknowledging that it's acknowledging that it's secret, that it's a plan of attack. This is from the Department of Defense, and showing people who do not possess a security clearance. This is really bad that they have this on audio. And then in August or September 2021, at the Bedminster Club, Trump showed a representative of his political action committee who did not possess a security clearance, a classified map related to a military operation, and told the representative that he should not be showing it to the representative and that the representative should not get too close. Again, if this person is called to testify, this is completely bad for Trump's case. And then if we go down, the other thing he's going to be charged with is basically someone from his inner circle moving boxes to conceal them from Donald Trump's attorney, so the FBI and the grand jury do not find them. This is right here. I'm reading directly from the indictment, suggesting that his attorney falsely represented to the FBI and grand jury that Trump did not have documents called for by the grand jury subpoena, directing defendant Walton Nadia to move boxes and documents to conceal them from Trump's attorney, the FBI, and the grand jury, suggesting that his attorney hide or destroy documents called for by the grand jury subpoena, providing to the FBI and grand jury just some of the documents called for by the grand jury subpoena while claiming that he was cooperating fully and causing a certification to be submitted to the FBI and grand jury, falsely representing that all documents called for by the grand jury subpoena had been produced, while knowing that, in fact, not all documents had been produced. This is also super bad. So Donald Trump's two biggest defense that would help him in this case is intent. So did he know that these were classified documents? Back from where the first part of the indictment I read, he said, now I can't, but this is still a secret. Talking about the documents he's showing, and then also to his representative that he should not get too close because let's see, it is again. It is still classified. That defeats his intent, knowing that it's classified and showing them to people and mishandling them. The second of it is him declassifying them. He says, as president, I could have declassified it. Now I can't. Completely ruining both defenses. I'm not really too sure where on the legal aspect Trump's attorney. Oh, and another big thing was his attorney falsely representing that to the FBI and grand jury, and also one of his Trump's representatives also destroying and hiding from the FBI and the grand jury of the classified documents. So I don't really know where this case is going to go. It's not looking too good for Donald Trump. The only benefit that there really is that one of the judge that's going to be overseeing the case, she's a super pro-Trump. She is clearly biased towards Trump's side. That's the best shot he has with getting little to no jail time. But yeah, it's not looking good on the legal aspect. So we're going to just have to see where this goes in the next couple months. And honestly, I'll keep updating you guys in the podcast. Let's see, next. This past weekend, Joe Biden. Let me pull up the article. So President Joe Biden administration is receiving backlash online over its Pride Month display at the White House on Sunday, as many Twitter users are saying it violates the U.S. flag code. So Biden celebrated the LGBT community in a post Saturday, revealing a set of flags hanging from the White House that faced the South Lawn. The display included a progressive flag flanked by two American flags. And then a bunch of people on Twitter argued that this breaks the flag code. It's a flag code violation. What they have is the flag of the United States. Should be at the center and at the highest point of the group when number of flags of states or localities or pennants of societies are grouped and displayed from staff. This, of course, is true. The progressive flag is a ideology, could even be so-called a religion, and the fact that Joe Biden and his administration is putting that at the forefront and putting that as the representation of the White House is completely disrespectful of the American flag. The American flag stands for all of us. Doesn't matter which race you are, which gender, doesn't matter how old you are, what background you have. The American flag is supposed to unite us all. Plenty of conservatives will tell you, no, I don't hate the left. Of course we do not hate the left. The United States of the American flag stands for all of us. It's something that we all could get behind. But when Joe Biden pits up the progressive flag in the forefront of the White House, this completely divides us as a nation. And this is why we continue to divide as a nation, and the wedge between us gets more and more and more. Let's see. And then finally, we have a California bill going through the Assembly. The bill is named AB 957. Let me see. I'll pull it up. A summary of the bill says existing law governs that the determination of child custody and visitation is contested proceedings and requires the court, for the purpose of deciding custody, to determine the best interest of the child based on certain factors, including, among other things, the health, safety, and welfare of the child. This bill, for purposes of this provision, would include a parent's affirmation of the child's gender identity as part of health, safety, and welfare of the child. So essentially what you're having is a bill that says that if you don't give your kid gender-affirming care, the state has the right to take away your child from you because you're not able to take care of them. This is completely outrageous and absurd. Essentially what you have is you have a kid. They're 16, 14, 8 years old. They say they want to be the opposite gender. This is a kid that does not have the fully developed brain. They don't know what life is because they're so young. This is completely outrageous. Essentially, if I have a kid named Johnny, and let's say he wants to become a walrus, and if you know the book from Matt Walsh, Johnny the Walrus, this is where I'm taking it from. My son wants to say he wants to be a walrus. I would then have to make him a walrus, or the state's going to take him away from me. And this is just completely insane. And honestly, California is continually down on a downward spiral, being absolutely absurd. You're having a state tell me what's best for my child, and what they're saying is I have to cut off perfectly normal body parts and mutilate my child for their health, safety, and welfare. It is completely insane. That's all I have for today, guys. Thank you so much. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. I'll go to see you guys tomorrow.